What's happening, y'all? Rich Sosa coming back at you with another video today. And before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank the Lord above, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. So comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I will definitely be sure to get back to you with the response. So, a lot of videos out in the community, and I just wanted to go ahead and share with y'all, my mind and my spill with, everything going on, especially with, what we can expect going forward into NBA 2K26, man. So a lot of exciting news that we did get this last week, but coming up as of Monday, bro, this is going to be the week that we will potentially be seeing some gameplay, possibly even more. But what I'm most excited about is being able to connect with y'all, bro, and being able to get into the community and really just spread that word of God. So I want to go ahead and open up with a little scripture today. This one comes from the book of Matthew 20 verse 28. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. And this is just a small but powerful message that I want to share and spread out to the 2K community as much as I possibly can, because in every single thing that I do, man, I want to try to be that best Christ-like example for y'all, to let y'all know that you can put your faith in Jesus, bro, and I promise you everything in your life will be blessed. So if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be part of the Rich family. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into a tweet. This one's coming from EK the creator. He put, why are people who dexed and L2'd and cheated all year long in 2K24 and 25 talking about, I hope NBA 2K26 is good. If that game is good, you are literally going back into the shadows. Don't worry, it's not going to be good though. But that's just insane to me. You just exploited and no life. Pretty sure it doesn't matter what NBA 2K26 is going to be like at that point. Now, realistically, man, I just, want to point out this tweet because for those of y'all who have been catering towards a playstyle that, realistically, it's not benefiting you skill-wise. And I think that's something, if you're following that path, bro, just as being a recognized content creator in this community, I recommend that you try to find your own playstyle before it's too late, bro, because this kind of playstyle L2ing, and pretty much that's where the center's posting up and the guards are running around them and getting open every single time for a wide open three-pointer. That's not real at all, bro. Not a real play style, and I would recommend pushing away from it as a community, bro. Now, something else that I'm going to get into is going to be a tweet coming from Sid67. So, he put out a tweet saying rating specific, obviously, but 2K been needing this feature in the game forever. Please make this a part of NBA 2K26. We're paying $100 a player. And Be Like Dime went ahead and quoted this one, saying this level of customization would be the ultimate game changer. Now, I want to show y'all a few examples of what they're talking about, and this can go a long way. So, for example, in previous 2Ks, bro, we were able to equip different size ups and animations based off the direction that you were dribbling and moving in. And it felt like in the past, if you've been playing any type of basketball game or 2K, or even, I'm going to say NBA Live EA, bro, you know exactly what I'm talking about when it came towards the customization that we can get. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all something that I think we need implemented in NBA 2K26. So the shot timing, as you can see, it gives us release timing of normal, quick, and late. Now, if you go to the next section, you also have a shooting form that you can pick, which I think, that's very special and something that you can customize more. Maybe implement it a little bit with the builder that we currently have when it comes towards shooting. But as you can see, you also got your own custom fadeaway and what type of contested jump shot that you do want to take when contested. So I would say that's something else that I would really want implemented in NBA 2K25 more. Selection when it comes towards the type of jumpers that we're taking. For example, even when it comes towards momentum shots outside or momentum shots inside, especially when it comes towards the post scoring shots, you have your post hook, the post fade, post protect shot. That's something that I would be really interested in seeing. But as far as for the dribbling, you have your dribble posture, ISO crossover, ISO behind the back, ISO spin, ISO hesitation. And I think it would be really special to, based off the tweet that I'm talking about, he pretty much went into detail with requesting from 2K. And I know a lot of creators have, been fond of this in previous years, but to give us more customization when it comes towards dribbling itself, bro, to allow us to be able to pick, for example, let's just say we want a size up package of mixing with Stephen Curry and Kyrie Irving, and even if you want a little bit of Devin Booker mixed in it, you can do so whether you're moving forward, dribbling to the left, or dribbling to the right. Each dribble move is different depending on the direction and way that you're moving, so we should be able to get one dribble package and mix it with a few different players if we wanted to, and that would really allow us to see different types, of play styles, of movement in the game, and realistically, bro, we would see different types of meta, and that's going to be key to see more diversity come NBA 2K26. Now, something else that I do want to show y'all back in 2K14, look, we had our release timing, the shooting form, also the shot base, the fadeaway, contested, the free throw, so it really gave us some different options to work with. Now, as you can see, the next section, it goes to your momentum shots outside, then it goes dribble pull-up, spin jumper, hop jumper. Even if we were to see this broken down a little bit more and more precise to where, you can really pick which direction you're dribbling towards, whether it's left or right, and you can change even the type of jumper or even form that you're working with. The more customization, the better. This is just another example of it that we've seen in NBA 2K14, and realistically, I think it would be very special to see this implemented back in NBA 2K26, man. Let me know what you think about this down below, but the more the better, I can say, especially when it comes towards being able to dribble. Now, coming from 2K Dev Wolf74, he sends out a tweet with the ice emoji with Carmelo Anthony with the 3 pointed to his head. So this has got to tell me something potentially. Is Carmelo's jump shot going to be money come NBA 2K26 for those my players, man? Let me know what you think about that down below, but realistically, I think that's something that we can definitely see happen. Now, as far as when it comes towards this next tweet that I want to get into, it's going to be coming from Be Like Dime. He really went ahead and quoted Chimama, and he put, "It's getting to a point, it happens a lot often." And what they're talking about is whites going in, and I'll be real, in a lot of my videos, you have seen that happen and dropping. Now, Be Like Dime went ahead and said, "I don't think you should be able to make contested shots in a basketball game if your timing is incorrect." Now, keep in mind, he said contested shots. He didn't say wide open. Regardless of the mode or difficulty, it just deflates any integrity in the gameplay, and that is very true. High difficulty / skilled plays from unskilled users, and realistically, I gotta go ahead and agree with him on this one. Let's just go ahead and say you mistime a wide open. I think that's fair to say that. A little bit of RNG implemented with that, but let's just go ahead and say you time it correctly, or you mistime it just a little bit well contested. I don't think you should make it, man, because the fact that you have that little bit of window to actually still green it and not even have to make it, but it's technically considered a green when you make your shot, bro. So I think 2K really has to pick and choose, the route that they're going to go with shooting come this next year, because I would have to say a lot of people were talking about shooting, especially how it was in NBA 2K24, and this is coming from, a few different tweets. So Sosa Chamberlain went ahead and tweeted out, "Green or miss, the best feature from the last 5 2Ks allowed you to beat bums and compete with cheaters." And Dimework went ahead and quoted, "I prefer the 24 shooting system. We just need it to be like it was before the patch though. After that patch, it was a little too easy to shoot. If everyone is greening consistently, the game is too easy. But if everyone isn't greening, there's going to be complaints. I don't really care anymore." And Juice went ahead and quoted him in response, 24 shooting system was probably the equilibrium of 2K shooting systems. Green or miss, plain and simple." And he followed up with, "Yeah, the funny thing is, they literally had to make it easier because according to the data, a majority of the people were not good at shooting. The overall percentages were too low and lower than intended." And Queso Peso went ahead and followed up with this tweet to close out everything. "Crazy times, cause you really didn't have to guard your man if you couldn't shoot. I was so mad when they buffed shooting after season 1 and made everybody a threat. The game is always peak season 1. I gotta go ahead and give that a big clap because, man, look, the fact that this hits right on the nail, man. Pre-patch, any 2K. I gotta say, that's probably some of the funnest times, especially if you can play come season 1 online, but how it felt in NBA 2K24, the shooting season 1 definitely was probably one of the best, feelings that you can get because you can leave players wide open if you knew their shooting percentages, which used to show this here in the beginning of the year in the bottom right corner, but you were actually able to know based off the shooting percentages loading into each game if your man was able to shoot, and if they weren't, or if they were, man, that made a huge difference with, you know, just being able to expose different matchups and different ways that you can just exploit, you know, the defense and offense. So I gotta say, man, this tweet is perfect. That's why I had to go ahead and show y'all this one, because it's really interesting to see what other people are thinking in the community and to be able to see our thoughts realign with each other, man. I'm telling y'all, I want what's best for the community, and if I see anything that's a positive for it, I'm gonna go ahead and share it with y'all. So let me know what you think about it. Now, this next tweet is coming from Boom Boom. So she went ahead and said this is the craziest NBA 2K26 prediction, and pretty much what she went ahead and said in her video is in that screenshot that we got from 2K. So as you can see, that little tiny arcade machine that says NBA 2K26, the 2Ks that are right next to it, she's thinking these are possibly games that you can go back or load into, or DLC downloadable content, bro. Now think about that. If we're able to go back to the previous parks of any of the previous 2Ks, man, that would be a huge W. Now, she got a response from Soul Punisher. I thought this was interesting. He mentioned, I think the arcade machine represents the game, probably being more arcade, since a lot of the community says that they liked 2K when it was arcade and not sim, which is why NBA 2K26 is on top of it. 16 probably missing because this game is probably going to be a mix of both arcade and sim. And she followed up with, only reason why I think it might be is in NBA 2K18 or 19, my career, there was an arcade machine that allowed you to go back as the Rockets with T-Mac and Yao Ming and play with the old controller map. I think it was in your mycareer. Not saying it's happening, but it would be a cool addition to celebrate NBA 2K16 beyond just having the old parks as an event. Now, does this confirm DLC in NBA 2K26, man? Let me know what you think about that down below. For those of y'all who don't know, Boom Boom is a part of the stream team, was a part of a few logo gauntlet days, and you know, to get this type of information out from the community, I gotta say, this only builds excitement come NBA 2K26. Now, another tweet that I do want to get into, and this one is going to be coming from Dwight Howard. He said, can we make a Big 3 video game? And the Big 3, the league, actually quoted him with the looking emoji eyes. And I gotta say, man, just to, you know, food for thought, it would be really nice to see another different type of basketball game out there. Not to compete with 2K, but just to see what other ideas that, you know, are realistically out here with how street ball and basketball should be played on a video game, bro. That would be pretty cool to see, especially with the types of players that actually are in the Big 3, being that a lot of them are previous NBA players. I think that's something special, man. A lot of those players are actually ones that were in 2K at one point or another, so I think it would be cool to see them in another basketball game as well. Now, something that I do want to remind y'all about, a few weeks ago, I did tweet out word on the street is 6'6" tall PGs will be the wave in NBA 2K26, and it's seeming to look like this is slowly falling true, because based off of all of the information in the community, it seems as though a lot of people are willing to start out around that 6'6" height. And there's a lot of good talks about going with a taller point guard this year, especially from the community videos. Now, I want to give respect to Grizz100K. He went ahead and tweeted out, it's about to be 2026 and 2K still got outdated hair in the game. Who's the art team, dev? Can someone point me in the direction? So, what I went ahead and did was, I went ahead and sent a message to TP Got Game. He's one of the devs, and hopefully, we can get some new hairstyles in NBA 2K26. And if we do, man, y'all definitely know that it was because of one, God, but of course, man, shout out to your boy Rich Sosa. So another tweet that I do want to get into, and this one comes from Clutch Up Next YT. He put, am I the only one who actually loved this badge system? And I'm going to let y'all do y'all homework. to find out which NBA 2K this was from, but this badge layout was probably one of the smoothest that we have ever seen. Realistically, it was super balanced, and on top of that, man, the type of builds that we saw, it was really unique because it didn't seem as though, you know, of course, every year there's overpowered builds, but it seemed like this gave everybody a chance to be dominant in their own way. So I really want to say shout out to every single one of y'all for coming through and showing your support. I want to say God bless you as well, and thank you. And if you happen to be in this video, man, I just want to say thank you so much as well for being able to, you know, be a part of this community that we are building. So God bless every single one of you. I got another video coming for y'all very soon, so be sure to stay tuned and locked in. And before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming, bro, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. God bless you, and Rich out.